My name is Weathervane, Professor Weathervane.
You want to teach us?
Well, yes. Why not?
You're a gnome. Gnomes can't do magic.
I can and have. During my mage training, Yes?
My mother also says that you should not be a teacher. But I think you're great, Professor.
Oh, thank you.
Say, Professor, what exactly is the magic constant? How long must Aventásia mature? What can you tell us about ancient magic runes?
How about you sit down properly first?
Nope.
Nope? That's no, Professor. Or, more properly, yes, Professor.
Nope means yes, Professor. That's going to cause some misunderstandings. So, the magic constant, Aventásia, ancient magic runes? We want to learn something.
You seem to really know a lot about magic.
More than you, anyway. Maybe we should switch places.
Maybe you should shut your... we never talked to teachers like that in my day.
Well, we do in mine. We'd like to have answers to our questions.
I will answer all your questions, but not now. It's time for History of Magic.
Then I have a history question. As everyone knows, gnomes are completely incompetent when it comes to magic. To be exact, only one great gnome mage has appeared in the last 800 years. He defeated Grumar, the last of the great dragons. What was the name of that last great gnome mage?
He was called, sit down at your desk properly and don't ask stupid questions.
But don't they say there are no stupid questions, only stupid answers? And that there aren't supposed to be any bad students, only bad teachers?
Not right now. We will... open your textbooks to page 100 and...
So I was right, wasn't I? You know nothing, not even the name of the only great mage your own people ever produced.
I just need a drink of water. Frog in my throat.
Ha!
Oh man, Master Marcus warned me that the students would test me the first few hours, but this is a nightmare. I don't know all of these things. I know nothing. Easy, boy, easy. Think, Wilbur, think. A bowl of fresh, cool water for my roommate. This is Fridolin, my rabbit sheep. I had to cast the transformation spell during my mage training, and this is the result. I think we make a good team. A young mage and his rabbit sheep fighting side by side as a force for good. Unfortunately, Fridolin doesn't do much other than lay in bed and eat. I still have to convince him it's important. The bed is pretty cozy. It's so cozy that Fridolin is curled up in it. But that's okay. Friends share. And he lets me sleep at the foot end. Earlier, in a situation like this, I would have holed up in bed and hoped that everything would somehow take care of itself. But those days are gone. I'm a professor of magic, and I have to solve my own problems. The teddy is just, a keepsake and some moral support from home. Soft and cuddly moral support. These are the Aviator Goggles that my granddad gave me before my first trip to Seastone. Well, a pair of Aviator Goggles. The original pair was lost when Grandad fired me out of the cannon. The entire school building is a bit scary. No one knows exactly where it was the last 20 years. It disappeared overnight and then reappeared just as suddenly once the war ended. There's a lot of magic in these old walls. The stove is always on, for example, and even though I've never put any wood in it. beautiful golden-eared trumpet. One of my predecessors must have played it up there. A very tall predecessor. There's no way I'm taking the bowl with me. I mean, how am I supposed to put a bowl of water into my pocket without getting my robe soaking wet? It's not like I can just carry anything around. But I could use the bowl here in the room. Do you want some water, Fridolin? He seems to be hungry more than anything. This has to be the oldest shoe I've ever seen. It's so old it's even lost its ability to stink. That's strange. There's paper in the bottom of the shoe. Oh, maybe the shoe has a hole and the paper is supposed to protect the wearer from getting wet feet. It's a sheet from a book. It's folded in the middle and printed on both sides. That equals 4 pages. It wasn't torn out. It looks more like the glue weakened and the sheet fell out. I'll just take it with me. A folded sheet from a book. A total of 4 pages were printed on it. I don't know what kind of book it is, but I should keep my eyes open for more pages. It can't be healthy in the long run for Fridolin to always eat parchment and old scrolls. Perhaps he'd like the pet food I bought. Master Marcus and the Archmage were so busy rebuilding the city that no one had the opportunity to teach me anything about teaching. This box was in a shop window down in the city. I thought it might be useful. After all, there are children with magic wands on it. But unfortunately, it just seems to be a bunch of those tricks, like that old one with Mr. Wupperman, the top hat and the rabbit. A short white rope, a pair of dice, playing cards, and a guide on how to lead people up the garden path. That's just not right. Real magic or none at all. It looked like this before I ever moved in. Generations of teachers must have left their stuff here. I like it. The school has a history and, when I have time, I'll rummage through it. Mages use balls like this to communicate over long distances. Master Marcus explained it to me. He'll know how I can tame those unruly students. So, what was that number again? 64731?
Hello.
Ah! Oh, wrong number! Ah, my wand. The King of Thieves got it for me during my mage training. He and the other rats have been tirelessly helping to rebuild the city in recent months. They work closely with the Archmage, albeit mostly in secret. We still haven't figured out exactly how it works. Sometimes it performs the most amazing magic, sometimes it can't even perform the simplest of tasks. Archmage Alistair's promised to have a look at it sometime. Maybe it has a loose connection or something. This is my contract, signed by the Archmage. I'm the first teacher in the School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, at least the first since the school reappeared. My whole family stayed in the White Ridge Mountains. Why would they even want to come to Seastone? This isn't their world. Little Sydney can walk now and reach everything that's on the workbenches. That tripled her invention output. Meggie doesn't build battle robots anymore since the war is over. Now she's experimenting with computing machines, but Grandad said there's no future in it. Well, buddy? What are you eating there? Hey, that's my notepad. I still need that notepad. It has Master Marcus's number. Okay, we'll do it like this. I'll give you some delicious pet food, and you give me my notebook back. Okay, buddy? All right, me first. Okay. Now give me my notebook, please. Hey, I thought we had a deal. Maybe I can lure Fridlin away from my notepad. That's it. That's all there is. Hey, Fridlin, look! Food! All you have to do is hop over here and get it. Wow! My rabbit sheep has superpowers. But now the food is gone and Fridlin is still hungry. No wonder I didn't do it right. It says, space-saving instant dry food. Soak in water before feeding. Crap. How about some water to wash the food down? That's what I thought. The food was pretty dry, right? See how well I take care of you? And maybe we could talk about my notebook. Oops. I'll read the instructions next time, promise. Sorry. It says, Master Marcus, only in emergencies, 64179. This is definitely an emergency. I'm losing my students' respect before I even had it. Well, 64179 and, 9. Hopefully this will work this time.
Yes? Hello?
Master Marcus!
Wilbur, what is it?
You have to help me, Master Marcus. The students, they're always asking me questions.
Of course, you're their teacher.
But I don't know the answers. I've only been a teacher for a few days and I'm all alone. And the school is eerie and there's no textbooks and no one wants to learn anything and...
Wilbur, no one expects you to be the perfect teacher right away. Wake your students' enthusiasm for magic. That would be a good start.
Why do I have to teach here all alone? Why aren't there any other teachers?
Many majors died during the war. There are only a few of us left. And most of those who survived are now pursuing more lucrative activities. Alchemy, ghost hunting, children's birthday parties.
But training new mages is important. If the rest are just out for the gold, then who will take care of the next generation?
Being a teacher is an important and honorable task, Wilbur, even when others fail to appreciate that.
Apparently there was a powerful gnome mage a long time ago. Did he kill any dragons?
According to legend, the last of the great dragons, Gremma, was defeated by a gnome.
That's the one I mean. What was that gnome's name?
No one knows. He arrived at a time of great need and saved the people of the Southlands by accomplishing the impossible. Then he disappeared without a trace.
Wow. But one of my students asked me for his name.
Then he probably wanted to lead you up the garden path. Some students want to find your weaknesses and see how far they can go. Don't take any guff.
You said I should inspire my students, but how am I supposed to do that? I don't know anything about the history of magic.
Obviously not, otherwise you would know that you'll never attract anyone with that subject.
But it's in the curriculum.
Oh, bugger the curriculum. Do what you're good at. Cast spells. Fill them with wonder. Make them want to be able to do the same.
But I don't know how.
Wilbur, you conjured a sheep out of a hat, and you didn't know how to do that either. Go out there and knock them dead. Let the magic do the work. You may not know what you're doing, but you're doing it.
Just do some magic.
Just do some magic.
You trained me. Why aren't you teaching at the school with me?
Politics. My brother is the Archmage, and he's in the middle of an election campaign. If he were to give his own brother a job, well, his opponents would just love that. But I'm not angry. I did my part. I trained mages when no one else would. And I found the most talented gnome mage the world has ever seen.
Your brother called me a natural talent. I am really quite good at magic, right?
You did some incredible things during your training.
I just wish I could control the magic better. Sometimes it just bubbles out of me, and other times, nothing.
I think that will come with time. And if not, you will have to rely on your ingenuity.
Thanks for your help, Master Marcus. I'll get through the lesson one way or another, and I'll get back in touch, okay?
Sorry, but no, Wilbur. You caught me packing. I'm off to spend 2 exciting weeks with a couple of friends.
What, you got on vacation? Well, now?
Maybe it's more than just a holiday. I sold the mage school, as you know. I want to start something new. Finally do what I really want to do. Role-playing games.
Role-playing games?
Live role-playing games. They start in a few days. We leave the normal world of magic, monsters and dungeons behind and immerse ourselves in a fantasy world. I play a removals contractor who is caught in a traffic jam with his truck and must therefore spend a night in a motel. Can you imagine what adventures could be waiting there for me?
But I thought being a teacher was really important, and...
That it is! Have fun!
Master Marcus! Hello! Come on, Wilbur. You can do it. You can inspire your students. That's better.
So what about the magic runes?
No one knows the name of the gnome that defeated Grandma. Nice try. Feet off the desk, or I'll make it bite them off. Enough with history of magic. Let's cast some spells. Fairy games. Doesn't sound bad, right?
Impossible!
Not bad, eh? Wow! That is magic. And here you can learn how to control it. That's it for today. Tomorrow we'll do something else.
Oh, sorry, honey. Get rid of that, will you? I need a word with Mr. Weathervane. Mr. Weathervane, nice to finally meet you in person.
And you are?
How very precious. I rather thought it'd be wise to watch out for you, Mr. Weathervane.
Why watch out for me?
You only play the innocent little country yokel. I always knew that. Your patron, Archmage Alistair, will not win the election against me. Did you know that we're only 3 points behind him in the latest polls?
No, I wasn't aware of that. How may I help you?
Help me? One of the Archmage's top men wants to help me. You know how the game is played, don't you, Weathervane?
What game?
Things are heating up. The house of cards is starting to collapse. I know it, and Alistair knows it too. We both lie low, waiting for the other to make a mistake. And he has made the first.
What mistake did the Archmage make?
He hired you. A gnome with a fake diploma issued by none other than the Archmage's brother Marcus.
I earned my diploma honestly. I have passed all 3 of the exams and...
Gnomes know nothing of magic. Everyone knows that. And you've never taught before.
But Archmage Alistair believes in me.
As the head mage, he appoints the professors. But I'm the merchant council leader and I assign the administrative posts. Headmaster Block will reveal your incompetence and the newspapers will report on the Archmage's dubious personnel policy before the election.
You shouldn't have just shot my fairy.
Do not underestimate me, Mr. Weathervane. I am very well aware that those are not fairies. Cobolus Vergastus, flying kobolds. Don't tell me you conjured them up yourself.
Yes, I did. All 5 of them.
Amazing! Powerful magic is needed to manifest living creatures. That is why most necromancers only reanimate skeletons. Dead matter can be much more easily controlled, as of course you know. Or should know.
The new headmaster. Who is he?
Horatius Block. A good man, very correct and very strict.
If he can help this school return to its former glory, I look forward to working with him.
Former glory? This old ruin, it was already run down back in my day. And wherever it was for the last 20 years, it definitely looks like they didn't have any cleaners.
My friend, Archmage Alistair, is better suited to bring the city and the country back into shape than anyone else.
Oh, you believe that? He is a great mage. Anyone who doubts that is mad. And he was a great leader during the war, most of the time. But what we need now is someone who understands the economy.
And that's you?
I am a rich and successful merchant. I have rich and successful friends. Who could be better suited to making others rich and successful?
Alistair would step down for you if he believed that.
You know what? I actually believe you're right. Strange, isn't it? How little he worries about defending his power.
So I guess it's all been said, hasn't it?
Indeed. You're on a sinking ship, Weathervane, but I could still be convinced to throw you a life preserver.
I trust the Archmage.
Then, Mr. Weathervane, you shall perish with him. Here, elect Sybil Van Buren. She knows how to get it done. Come along, honey, we're leaving.
There aren't any of these in my book of fairy tales, Mama.
I know, honey. Who wants to look at something that ugly?
Can you turn him into a unicorn? Or the Cheshire Cat? Or the Frog Prince?
Chantal forgot her book. Seems to be a book of fairy tales, but one of the tackier kinds. My dad used to read me fairy tales when I was a kid. The bloodthirstiest, most cruel, creepy, proper fairy tales. I'll just leave it there. Chantal can take it tomorrow. This is the desk that Chantal, the daughter of the council leader, and little Timmy share. Hard to imagine 2 students being any more different. Chantal is only here because of its tradition in her family, and I don't think she really cares about magic or has any real talent for it. Timmy, though, well, he is eager to learn and was so excited the last few days. It's for students like him that we have to get this school back up and running. A pencil case, a ruler. Nothing special. I don't think the Archmage even has brochures like these. No posters or town criers or plays. Either he lacks the gold or he doesn't want to conduct his election campaign in this manner. When the school disappeared 20 years ago, obviously no one looked after the animals. Expected consequences, really. It appears they wanted to replicate the fish's natural habitat as exactly as possible, including miniature treasure chests, just like the ones frequently found in the sea. Introduction to magic, sheep breeding and care, statistics. That seems to be some kind of timetable. Oh, most of the plants have dried up. No one looked after them. Only this plant must have found a water source somewhere. Perhaps one of the windows has a leak. I don't need the whole skeleton, but a sharp-pointed bone like this might just prove useful. Hey, some old coins. Maybe one of my predecessors had a vicious fish guard his retirement fund. I don't know who that boy was. He was a right pain in the ass. However, he seemed to understand a great deal about magic, and if I managed to teach him some manners, he could be an excellent student. Generations of students have left their mark, especially in the form of little pictures and sayings carved into wood. Here's a particularly long one. For all drifters and troublemakers, condemned to write the same sentence on the board over and over again, no problem. Cast the automation spell on the piece of chalk and it does it all the work for you. Bartholomew. Hey, aye, that's cheating. Pretty clever though. The spell carved into wood down there, I'll just write it down. Unusual. This device looks more like ordinary engineering than it does magic. Most magical devices have lots of golden parts, elaborate decorations, and bells and whistles, just the way the mages like them. This one could easily come from a gnome workshop. Ooh, crazy drawings and symbols. That must be really high magic. Only the wisest mages can understand all that. It didn't let me down this time, though. It worked even better than I expected. It was like it wanted to conjure. I could hardly keep it under control. Teachers are traditionally paid in apples. I got this one myself, because I didn't want to spend my first day without an apple. This book looks very old and important. Half the class had runny noses, most were recaptured. This is the roll book where the teacher writes down any unusual events. The little fellas look like they've got nothing but mischief in mind. I hope they don't get into too much trouble. I suspect that some sort of strange magical creatures were kept in the cages. Students, for example. The mixing of potions is an important part of magic. It's a bit like cooking, except a stew doesn't kill you if you add the wrong ingredient. Or if it's stirred wrong. No? With a little luck, I can get through the day without causing an explosion. The last time a fire burned in this was before the school disappeared 20 years ago. And even if I could, I shouldn't start a fire in it anyway. The flue was broken, and the smoke would fill the entire classroom. A little ash, but also some unburned waste. Here's a sheet of paper. Another book page. Or more precisely, another folded sheet of paper upon which 4 pages have been printed. When I look at the page numbers on the first sheet and on this sheet, it seems there are at least 5 sheets missing. does it say? The apparatus that corrupted student Allardyce. A warning to those who do not want to accept the limits of magic. It seems a student by the name of Allardyce made this apparatus and it brought him grief. I don't know why. Compared to the things lying around back home in Gnome Hole, this apparatus doesn't look particularly dangerous. Maybe I can find something in the roll book about this Allardyce mentioned in the note on the apparatus. Here. Despite repeated warnings, young Allardyce continued his experiments on his fire maker. To my great regret, I must say that the device works. He demonstrated it to the staff. We had to have him committed to the asylum in Arkhamstone because of his delusions and insubordination. A wizard who invents a fire maker and then committed to an insane asylum by other wizards. I guess they didn't understand his new kind of magic back in their time, or they figured their monopoly was in danger. For a long time, wizards were the only ones allowed to make fire.